Review.
Let's not beat around the bush. Garshasp is a poor man's God of War. It's got the cinematic camera angles, the quick time events, even the same method of replenishing health. And yet on the conceptual level, Garshasp, the Monster Slayer, is pretty ambitious for an indie game, and it's got the right idea. It's got a lovely art design, the music is pompous, and a great narrator drops story bits in his deep baritone.
Now that the flame of the warrior's fury had receded a little, there was something other than revenge to ponder. The one thing that had brought Hitasp to the town of Ariasp, the object that Orvok had lost his life defending, the Mace of Trit.
The idea is epic. It's the execution that lets the game down. Broken collision detection, control problems, frustrating wall sliding sections, and other basic faults drag down the combat and exploration. Garshasp just can't deliver on its lofty ambitions. Yet you can tell that the vision was solid. The game is based on Persian mythology and has you as hero Garshasp making your way through a number of good-looking environments. The visuals are hardly best in class, but the art has a great look. The camera swoops around trying to emulate a fantasy film. A narrator fills you in on why you're slicing up monsters. The few cutscenes are surprisingly high quality too, though you'll never feel totally involved in the story, such as it is. The voiceover might hint at the basics, but it's no substitute for experiencing a story firsthand. It's too bad that the execution lets down the vision. Combat is fine on a basic level. You string light and heavy attacks into combos, finish off big monsters with quick time events, and take on a few big bosses. But none of it feels quite right, in part because of the busted collision detection. Your sword clips right through enemies constantly, animations are stuttery, and sound effects lack oomph. As a result, combat doesn't have much impact and doesn't feel as fluid as it should. The collision issues affect movement as well. Objects are surrounded by invisible cushions, which hurts a few of the platforming sections. The swooping camera doesn't help things, sometimes making it hard to judge depth, but Garshasp's worst parts involve sliding down walls. The final one in particular is awful. The controls just don't do a good job at all of adjusting to varied camera angles. Jumping from wall to wall while sliding down, avoiding spinning blades, is an absolute mess as a result, especially if you're using a controller. There's so many other problems it would be tough to list them all. The annoyingly inconsistent grab mechanic, animation glitches, bugs, and so on. And yet Garshasp, the Monster Slayer, isn't completely broken, just very, very sloppy. And it's got the right idea. Its mix of combat, platforming, and lever pulling gives this third-person action game a really good pace. But while the concept was there, the delivery was messy. Heart means a lot, but it isn't enough to make Garshasp a sure buy.